You might remember Tim Curry as the wild icon from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but what you probably don't know is how he came terrifyingly close to losing everything, only to rise again, using nothing but the power of his voice. Or Bruce Willis, once Hollywood's unstoppable action hero, now quietly battling a heartbreaking condition that's stolen the very words that made him famous. These aren't just stories of fading fame, they're deeply human journeys filled with pain, resilience, and surprising moments of grace. From devastating diagnoses to the still silence after the applause ends, these 25 actors are fighting battles most fans never see. And trust us, the final story will leave you completely stunned. Alex Trebek wasn't just the host of Jeopardy! He was Jeopardy! For 37 unforgettable seasons, he brought the game to life with unmatched intelligence, razor-sharp wit, and a warmth that made millions feel like they knew him personally. With over 8,200 episodes, Trebek didn't just appear on our screens. He became a daily ritual, a trusted presence in homes across the country. His calm authority, perfect timing, and encyclopedic mind earned him a Guinness World Record and the love of generations. But in March 2019, that familiar, comforting figure delivered heartbreaking news. He had been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. The odds were devastating, but Trebek, true to form, didn't retreat. At 79, instead of fading quietly, he faced the disease with grace, honesty, and unwavering strength. He chose to share his journey publicly, turning his battle into a powerful message of awareness and resilience. Even through grueling chemotherapy and unimaginable fatigue, Trebek kept showing up, standing behind the podium with dignity and determination. His 2020 memoir, The Answer Is, gave fans a deeper glimpse into the man behind the legend. His humor, humility, convictions, and quiet battles. On November 8, 2020, Alex Trebek passed away at the age of 80. His loss wasn't just felt in the world of game shows. It echoed in the hearts of millions who saw him as more than a host. He was a teacher, a symbol of integrity, and a gentle strength in uncertain times. And though the final question has been asked, his legacy lives on. In every answer, every clue, and every person he inspired. Dustin Diamond will always be remembered as the quirky, lovable Screech from Saved by the Bell, but he was more than just the class clown of Saturday morning TV. He became a symbol of an entire generation's coming of age. Bursting onto screens in the late 80s, Dustin's oddball charm made him a household name. But like so many child stars, his journey through fame was anything but smooth. When the spotlight faded, so did the clarity of who he really was to the public. In early 2021, Dustin discovered a lump in his throat. The diagnosis was swift and devastating, stage 4 small cell carcinoma. Just 3 weeks later, on February 1st, he was gone. Only 44 years old. Fans were stunned. Behind the laughs, the awkward jokes, and the signature high-pitched voice was a man who lived with complexity, one filled with both glory and pain, with bright highs and heavy lows. His sudden passing wasn't just a shock, it was a sobering reminder. What we see on screen is often only a fraction of the truth. Behind the fame, behind the laughter, there are real people with real battles. And sometimes, those battles are the ones we never see, until it's too late. Neil Diamond, his voice wasn't just heard, it was felt. From the soaring chorus of Sweet Caroline to the intimate verses of Solitary Man, he didn't just sing songs, he wrote the soundtrack of a generation. For over 5 decades, Diamond reigned as one of America's most beloved singer-songwriters, a master storyteller with a microphone. But in 2018, the world was stunned when he revealed he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological disorder that gradually steals the body's control. It was a devastating announcement, yet true to form, Neill didn't retreat into silence. With grace and grit, he completed his 50th anniversary tour, delivering every note with the same heart that made him a legend. Stepping away from the stage was no small goodbye. It was the closing of a chapter, not only for Neill, but for generations of fans who grew up, fell in love, and healed to his music. And still, he did it with quiet strength. By 2023, he had traded the spotlight for something softer, more time with family, moments of peace, and the slow dance of healing. Though his performances paused, the music never stopped. As of 2025, Neil Diamond's legacy remains alive and luminous. His songs still echo across radios, weddings, stadiums, and memories, filled with joy, heartbreak, nostalgia, and timeless warmth. He may no longer be center stage, but the emotion in his voice still lingers in the hearts of millions. Because legends like Neill don't fade. They echo forever. Olivia Newton-John was more than just a star. She was a symbol of light and courage. Rising to fame in the 1970s with chart-topping hits and her iconic role as Sandy in Grease, she enchanted the world with her angelic voice, magnetic warmth, and unshakable optimism. But behind the glamorous spotlight was a woman quietly waging a battle far more personal than any role she ever played. In 1992, Olivia was diagnosed with breast cancer, a fight she would face not once, but 3 separate times over the course of her life. Yet with every return of the disease, she stood tall with grace, grit, and a smile that never dimmed. "I don't feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm living," she once said, and she meant it. She lived every day with purpose, using her journey not only to heal herself, but to uplift others. Instead of retreating into silence, Olivia turned her pain into purpose. Through the Olivia Newton-John Foundation Fund, she became a fierce advocate for cancer research and integrative medicine, channeling her fame into a force for good. Her efforts brought hope to thousands and laid the groundwork for real, lasting change. When she passed in August 2022, Olivia didn't just leave behind beloved songs and unforgettable films. She left behind a legacy of strength, compassion, and resilience. Her life proved that true power doesn't come from avoiding life's hardest moments. It comes from rising through them and choosing to shine anyway. Like Kathy Bates, Olivia Newton-John showed us that even the darkest paths can lead to a light that touches the world. Sam Neill, the quietly commanding force behind Jurassic Park and Peaky Blinders, has always brought a rare grace to the screen. Whether guiding us through prehistoric chaos as Dr. Alan Grant or delivering soul-stirring performances in Hunt for the Wilderpeople, his work has always felt deeply human. But in 2022, the role he never auditioned for came knocking, that of a real-life fighter. What began as a few unassuming lumps turned into a terrifying diagnosis: angioimmunoblastic T-cell lymphoma, a rare and aggressive blood cancer. In an instant, the world-renowned actor was thrust into a battle that no script could prepare him for. Chemotherapy, experimental treatments, endless uncertainty. But Sam faced it all with the same quiet strength he brought to every role. Then, in March 2023, came the news everyone prayed for: remission. Cancer-free. Alive. Still standing. Now, in 2025, at 77 years old, Sam Neill lives each day with a deeper sense of gratitude. He hasn't hidden from his battle. Instead, he's chosen to speak out, offering hope to those still in the fight. He continues working in film and television, using his platform to inspire, educate, and remind us all of the resilience that lives within. Sam Neill isn't just a survivor. He's a storyteller of life's hardest chapters. A man who turned pain into purpose and fear into fuel. His story echoes far beyond Hollywood. It reaches hearts around the world. Where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments to show that Sam's message of hope knows no borders. Still here with us? Type 1 below, because the final story coming up will shake you to the core. One moment in particular might just leave you breathless. Selma Blair, best known for her unforgettable roles in Cruel Intentions, Legally Blonde, and Hellboy, has always commanded attention on screen. But it's her off-screen journey that has truly revealed her strength. For years, she battled unexplained symptoms: constant fatigue, nerve pain, and sudden loss of coordination. Doctors had no answers. Then in 2018, everything changed. She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. It was a devastating revelation, one that forced her to pause her acting career and relearn how to navigate daily life. But instead of hiding, Selma did something extraordinary. She stepped forward with raw honesty, sharing her journey not for pity, but to shine a light on what it means to live with an invisible illness. Her vulnerability became her power, and her voice became a lifeline for thousands facing similar struggles. She didn't just speak up, she sparked a movement, challenging stereotypes around disability and redefining what strength looks like. By July 2024, Selma began reclaiming her life, not as the actress we once knew, but as a warrior shaped by pain and purpose. She returned to the spotlight not with perfection, but with power. Today, she continues to inspire with every step she takes, reminding us all that true courage isn't about having it easy, it's about rising even when the odds are against you. Tim Curry, the legendary actor forever etched in pop culture as Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, faced a life-altering moment in 2012, a severe stroke that could have ended everything. It didn't just threaten his career, it threatened the very essence of who he was. Once a magnetic force on stage and screen, Curry suddenly found himself confronting physical limitations and an uncertain future. But instead of retreating, he evolved. Refusing to let the stroke steal his passion, Curry turned to voice acting, channeling that unmistakable voice, velvety, mischievous, powerful, into animated films, TV shows, and audiobooks. He may no longer command the stage, but his presence is still deeply felt, reverberating through every word he speaks. More than his talent, it's his spirit that inspires. Tim Curry didn't just survive, he adapted, he thrived. He turned adversity into art. Now, in 2025, at 79 years old, he continues to greet fans at conventions with warmth, wit, and a sparkle in his eye. He reminds us that resilience isn't just about recovery, it's about reinvention. In a world quick to forget those touched by hardship, Curry rewrote the script. His legacy isn't just in what he's done, it's in who he's chosen to become. Val Kilmer was more than just a movie star. He was a force of nature. Born on December 31, 1959, he became one of Hollywood's most magnetic and chameleon-like talents. Whether it was his ice-cool swagger as Iceman in Top Gun, his haunting portrayal of Jim Morrison in The Doors, or donning the cape as Batman in Batman Forever, Kilmer brought a raw intensity and unforgettable presence to every role. But behind the fame, a private battle was quietly unfolding. In 2015, Val was diagnosed with throat cancer, a devastating blow for a man whose voice had been one of his most powerful tools. The treatments were grueling. Radiation, chemotherapy, a tracheostomy. His booming voice faded to a whisper, but his spirit never wavered. In his 2020 memoir I'm Your Huckleberry, Kilmer pulled back the curtain, revealing the pain, the fear, and the unshakable courage that defined his journey. Then in 2021 he made a powerful return to the screen in Top Gun, Maverick, reuniting with Tom Cruise in a deeply emotional moment that left audiences around the world in tears. On April 1, 2025, Val Kilmer passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 65 due to complications from pneumonia. But his story doesn't end there. Because legends like Val don't fade, they echo. Through every role, every risk, every moment of bravery, he left behind a legacy that still burns bright. Thanks for watching. If Val's story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There's more to come, and we'll see you in the next video.